in the water too, in the Huawei P20 Pro compared to the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. And this I shot normal in auto mode too. I didn't go into that long exposure night mode because it actually didn't need to. So I'm gonna check out the Sony photo really quick. So apologies to Sony right off the bat because these early photo tests, Sony fails. It's obviously the most inferior camera of the three. I guess I spoiled the ending of the video. So now you see comparing the Sony Xperia XZ2 photo on the right to the left, you see it's overexposed and it's just kind of darker overall. You look at the sidewalks, you can see the sidewalks here on the Huawei photo, and you can't see the sidewalks here. It's a lot darker. And same problem, kind of overexposed here and overexposed here. Let's actually open them up 100%. View actual size. View actual size. So now this is 100% crop here. And then you look at, there's just a lot more noise in the Sony photo compared to the Huawei photo. So since Huawei clearly had the best photo here, let's compare the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and Sony. Okay, so now I have right here the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus at 100%. This is actual size, 100% crop. And right here I have the Sony Xperia XZ2. So same thing, you see a little bit more noise here than here. The Samsung photo is really good, it's just the Huawei photo is a little bit better. So this first shot, Huawei wins hands down. So now let's do another low light photography. Huawei's gonna win on a low light photography right now. Just, spoil the ending right away. So again, these two shots, exactly the same story. On the right is the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. You notice it's a little bit overexposed, the lights, whereas the Huawei photo is completely balanced. Now this I shot in long exposure, aka night mode, and this is just a brilliant photo. Look at how everything is perfectly balanced. Now you look over at Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. It's a little bit dark here, whereas on the Huawei you see clear details. So it's a little bit dark here, and then right here it's a little bit overexposed. Whereas on the Huawei P20 Pro, the lights look completely natural. So now let's pull up the Sony shot. Again, it's going to be the worst of the three. So yeah, look at how dark this photo is compared to on the Huawei P20 Pro. So two photos in, you already know the conclusion. Huawei P20 Pro is the best low light camera. But I'll just do one more sample just to kind of show you just how much more powerful Huawei's camera is. So this is a difficult shot. I shot this in an alley, but then facing a really major street in Hong Kong. So there's a lot of light coming through right here. But otherwise, the alley is really dark. So check out how much details you can see in the dark alley, and then check out the light that comes through. It's not that overexposed. It's slightly overexposed, but not too bad. And then now you check out the Sony Samsung photo. You don't see details in the alley anymore. It's a little bit darker here compared to on the Huawei shot. Still pretty well balanced though. And then now you pull up the Sony photo. You basically can't see much of anything here. It's a lot more darker than here. And you notice the alley is overexposed. So the Sony photo overexposes the light and also underexposes the alley. This is the most balanced shot. Okay, let's move on away from the low light because the fight is not a fair fight. So now we'll go to 5x zoom. So both the Samsung and Huawei P20 managed to pump out a really good shot. The Huawei shot is a little bit too cool. The real life scene looked more like that. So this is 5x zoom. I actually shot this from across the harbor. This is Hong Kong side. I shot it from Kowloon side. That's all the way across the harbor at 5x zoom. So Samsung shot looks actually better from afar because the color is just more natural, and details from afar they look quite similar too. So when you look on the phone, that's how they look. And now let's zoom in really quick to 100%, view actual size. And then you see that the Huawei shot, it's a little bit superior. You see the lines, they're a lot more clear. Well, not a lot, a little bit more clear than the lines on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus's photos. Let's go to the top of this building. Let's go to the top of this building. This is the building that Batman jumped off in The Dark Knight. So you check right here, you can see the individual pillars very clearly, but you go to the Samsung Galaxy S9, it's a little bit more blurry. So in terms of details, Huawei wins a 5x zoom, but of course that should be expected because Huawei is using a telephoto lens that goes up to 3 times, whereas Samsung has a telephoto lens that goes up to 2 times. So now again, apologies to Sony, you guys are looking so bad right now, but I promise the video section Sony does a little bit better. So now let's go to the actual size for the Sony Xperia XZ2. Yeah, it's a jumbled mess. You don't even see any of the lines here, whereas on the Huawei P20 Pro. But Huawei messed up the colors a little bit. This is way too cool. This is a much more natural color. And to Sony's credit, when you actually zoom out a little bit more and just look at the photo, like not blown up to 100%, it looks decent. It's when you go into 100%, then it looks like trash. So that last 5x zoom, I would say, is a draw between Samsung and Huawei. Huawei's photo had more details, but Samsung's photo had better colors. So now let's look at macro photos, which is kind of like a really close-up shot. I shot this using manual focus to try to get as close as possible. So Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus on the right, Huawei P20 Pro on the left. Both shot looks great, but Samsung's colors are a little bit more natural. So Huawei has mastered the AI that kind of pumps up the contrast. So it looks a little bit artificial. It doesn't look that natural. So let's go to 100% scale, view actual size. And 100% scale here. So Huawei shot's a little bit more detailed. When you look at the texture inside the flower versus right here, slightly blurry. But again, the colors are more natural on Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So now let's look at Sony. So right off the bat, not as good, and then you go in, oh yeah, it's a mess. Night and day. So Huawei is like kicking everybody's ass so far, but when we get to video, you'll see that Huawei P20 Pro suffers right there. So let's go to manual zoom. So this is one area that Samsung wins. I'll give it away all the ending right now. So I shot this basically using manual focus, and I try to get as close as possible before the image got too blurry. So you see that on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus on the right, I was able to get closer to this coin because it comes out larger than the Huawei P20 Pro. Now let's go to 100%. So yeah, you go to 100%, there's a lot more detailed on, this is Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, a lot more detailed here than on Huawei P20 Pro's image. So you can see all the individual markings right here, and the color just looks livelier. This looks a little bit dull. So Samsung wins manual zoom. Now let's check out Sony. So right off the bat, you look at how small this coin is because the Sony camera couldn't get that close. So the manual zoom is not that good, and then you look at details, actually pretty decent. In fact, Sony's details might beat Huawei's details at both 100% zoom. Okay, so Sony finally beats Huawei for once right here. Now let's look at 8x zoom. So this is a 8x zoom right here. This is I already 100% scaled these, so pretty easy decision.